Creatures of the night, it's your girl Tati. Let's talk about AEW Collision. We started off with Adam Copeland having the Cope Open. Anyone who's ballsy enough to get in the ring with him for the TNT title can come on and get this ass whooping. Now, I was so genuinely surprised to see Matt Cardona to be the one and take on the challenge. Now, we've seen him in AEW before, but like 2 or 3 weeks ago, something like that, we had Dustin Rhodes who was sending a tweet over to Matt Cardona publicly about coming back to AEW, and Matt said that he has not received an invitation since the last time he was over there, and that it was really unfortunate. I guess he really wanted to work with them again, and here we are a couple of weeks later, and he's on the show. They have a tremendous match. It's that teacher versus teacher versus student type of situation, and it was really, really great. And it goes to show y'all that Matt Cardona, y'all already know the story. He was in WWE, didn't really make it big, but at some point he started putting himself out there on the internet to make a name for himself, and he got over on his own. And it kind of seemed like WWE was annoyed about it because they want to put people over when they feel like doing it, and Matt was doing it on his own, and the all this foolishness or whatever. But at the end of the day, he went on leaving WWE. And while some people would think that, hey, you can't do anything better than going to WWE, he has made a huge freaking name for himself in the indie scene. He's the indie god at this point. He's been absolutely tremendous, and it was really great to see him go against Adam Copeland in a really, really great match. And like I said, you can really see the growth when you think about how things were at the beginning of his career when he was just an edgehead, and now he's just, I don't know, man. He's been absolutely tremendous. Now, this match, really, really great. And we have Nigel McGuinness, who is on commentary, who's talking nothing but shit about Adam Copeland, which makes it funny. I love Adam. I love Nigel, but he's hilarious. Adam obviously retains the title here, but man, Matt Cardona has really shown, I know Adam Copeland, like what he can do in the ring, and I'm sure Adam is absolutely proud of Matt Cardona. I did like how it seemed like Matt was gonna take the win, going for the win with a spear, and while he's going for that, Adam goes for the spear at the same time, ends up knocking his ass out for the 3 count, and I absolutely enjoy how they ended off that match. I think the entire match is already on YouTube, so go ahead and check it out. It's definitely really, really great opener. I really enjoyed it. Now, after this, we had FTR basically talking about, this is not going to be a Cinderella. Oh, wait. No, wait. Hold the fuck on. How could I forget? After that match, the lights cut off. Because I was just like, well, how come Matt is not going to get in the ring and shake Adam's hand? But the lights turned off, and I'm like, all right. It's definitely not that they didn't pay the bills. I'm thinking that maybe our stepdaddy was coming out, maybe Nick Wayne, maybe Killswitch, somebody. But then lights turn on, and it's Malachi freaking Black, and I lost my panties, and I'm just like, holy shit, was not expecting that at all. So they gave us another unexpected thing, and this is what I'm talking about. People want to see surprise, unpredictable things like that happening to make the show fun. Now, he is out there and having a stare down with Adam Copeland. Adam Copeland, you guys, I think it's 50, 51. The abs are on point. He just looked absolutely amazing. I couldn't stop looking at that. But anyway, they're looking at each other, and I'm just like, holy shit. I actually want to see this. I want to see a nice feud. They will give us a really great feud with Adam Copeland and Malachi Black. Now, while they're staring down each other, Buddy Matthews come out and attacks Adam from behind. No Brody King. He wasn't there for this segment at all. But then we obviously ended up having some help. We had Mark Briscoe who came out, and then Eddie Kingston who came out to help Adam Copeland with the House of Black. Even though it was a 3-on-2 situation, but hell, they didn't know if Brody King was going to make it or not. So they came out and took out the trash. Obviously, House of Black retreated. This is going to be so interesting to see what happens. Later on, they ended up challenging the House of Black to a match at AEW Dynasty. So it's going to be a trios match. So the TNT title will not be up for grabs. I love the fact that they teased us with Malachi and Adam, but but I don't think we're actually going to get that anytime soon. Maybe after the pay-per-view, if they really stretch this thing out. I'm so excited to see what happens with that. Now, after that is when we had FTR basically saying that the infantry got a little Cinderella story here, but it's not going to be a fairy tale for them tonight because they're going to end up losing the match. I'm telling you, when I hear FTR, I already start blacking out because I'm just like, oh my God, I just want to pretend I don't see them right now. I already love seeing them wrestle. They're absolutely amazing. But when they're on the microphone, I'm bored. Absolutely bored. Now, speaking of bored, the Acclaim and Daddy Ass came out. Everybody was just, first of all, the crowd was absolutely amazing. They were amazing during the opening match, and rightfully so. But during this time, when I tell you that they were just showering Billy Gunn with nothing but love and cheers, they could care less about the Acclaim in the ring. And honestly, I agree. I do like Anthony Bowens, though. However, long story short, because this was actually too long and very boring, Daddy Ass wants to go against Jay White because he broke onto his house and started destroying things. And he's like, I don't like anybody coming to my house for no fucking reason, especially if you're going to come and try to destroy my house. So now they're going to have a one-on-one match on Dynamite next week. Great. I'll have an issue with that. But then, once Maxcaster took the fucking mic, oh my God, he's boring. He's absolutely boring. Now, I know when he does his raps, he do have punchlines that people laugh about and probably really like. However, these past few weeks, even last night, they didn't let his bitch ass say anything in terms of a rap. And I get it, because he's acting like an asshole on social media. So since he can't be responsible, they're not letting him do any rapping on his way to the ring. Now, he's doing a little promo and he sucks. Anthony Bowens, I like you, baby, but you suck too. I was bored out of my mind. Don't give these guys the microphone anymore. I'm over it. Matter of fact, I want them to lose the title and they can all split up. So now we have FTR versus the Infantry. What can I say about this? Now, this was not a bad match. However, it didn't get better as it got towards the end. Matter of fact, I thought it was getting really messy, like midway through the match. I did not appreciate what we got. And let me just say this. The Infantry is really talented. I'm not going to even blame any of these two teams. The truth of the matter is that there comes a time where everybody faced somebody for the first time. However, situations like that, not always. You would like for, AEW, if they had a performance center or if they had house shows, these teams, these people would be able to go one-on-one with each other and get some chemistry with each other. And instead, we got these two teams going with each other for the very first time, and the chemistry is not great. And like I said, sometimes it was all right, and then like I said, towards the middle end of the match, you can see things getting a little sloppy. People are losing their footing. Some of these moves are not executed well at all. And I'm just like, damn, if only they have had time to actually really be in the ring with each other and get some chemistry, I think the match would have went much better if that would have been the case. Unfortunately, it wasn't. I was very upset that FTR won, and it's not like I should have been surprised or anything. It's just that I want something new. So many of us want something new. While FTR is a really great tag team, we don't want to see 3-time tag champions when there's so many teams that deserve to have these titles too, that have been working fucking hard not get the titles or even the opportunity to get close to those titles, because we got title hoggers or whatever the hell Tony Khan is doing by giving the same people the same titles over and over again. I'm not gonna rant. Let me move on. We did have Lexi backstage with Pretty Ricky Starks and Big Bill. And Big Bill, Lord have mercy, looks so delicious. He looks great. I am so happy about him being sober. He looks happy. This is what we want, when it comes to people who have faced their demons when it comes to either, obviously in his case, it was drinking alcohol. And he's definitely faced those demons, and he's doing so much better. And you can see it when you see him. Anyway, they're like, well, we know FTR won their match. We're going to be going against them because they know that they're going to be top flight later on in the night. And we're going to get to that in just a second. Now, we had Kyle O'Reilly come in the ring. And I'm just like, oh, okay, I didn't know Kyle was going to be wrestling tonight. Who's his opponent? But when he was coming out to the ring, I saw that somebody was already in the ring. And I was like, a local jobber. It is what it is. It's going to be quick. Then they showed his opponent to be JD Drake. Now, if y'all don't watch Ring of Honor, and matter of fact, JD has been on Collision several times. He is a really great wrestler, and for him to get the jobber's entrance, I felt some type of way about it. I was like, no, not my homeboy. Y'all not gonna do him like that. I actually did not like that at all. Very short match, and only really to showcase what Kyle O'Reilly can do. But what I did point out is that Kyle has only had one fucking match, which was with Brian Keith 2 weeks ago, I want to say. And his ribs was taped up with kinesio tape. And I was just like, wait a minute. What have you done since you've been here for you to be taped up, wrapped up like a mummy right now? Like, I thought that was very interesting. But, you know, Kyle is showing more that he's comfortable in the ring. I just did not appreciate a match that was sort of a squash. Didn't really care for this. Obviously, after this match, he is celebrating in the ring with the Undisputed Kingdom. And they really, really want him to be part of their group. I wouldn't mind him being part of the group. Take Wardlow the fuck out that group. He shouldn't even be in it anyway. If they go with that route, then I'm cool with it. Up next, we have tag team action. Pretty Ricky Starks, Big Bill versus Top Flight. I was torn in between these two teams because for different reasons, I wanted them to advance. Obviously, Big Bill and Ricky never got the rematch. They pretty much gave the tag titles to Darby and Sting, and I was just like, you know, I wouldn't mind them getting the titles again and them having a real run with it this time. And also Top Flight, I've been wanting this for them for a long time too because they're an amazing tag team. They do have a really great match, and in my opinion, while Big Bill and Ricky work well together as a team, they don't have the experience as a team like Top Flight that have been wrestling since toddlers. So I know for a fact that Top Flight might look better as a team in this match, but for whatever reason, I really felt that we were going to have Big Bill and Ricky win. Towards the very end of the match, Ricky seems to be very hurt. I'm not sure what it was exactly. There was a Pele kick from Darius. I ended up watching that back, but I think he was hurt a little bit before that. It just seemed like something with his neck, shoulder area. I couldn't really tell what was going on, and he's off to the side and he's trying to probably gather himself together, gets back into the ring. I think it was Darius that goes for the pin. Referee counts, and honestly, it was a 3 count. But ref did not count to 3. Ricky left his shoulders down on the mat because he's hurt and could not move. They tried this again, but this time it's 1, 2, 3. There's nothing that they can do. Ricky is not moving again. And I really do believe that because the ref did not count to 3 that first time, that it was absolutely planned for Big Bill and Ricky to win. I could be wrong, or maybe it just wasn't that very moment that they were supposed to take the win. Obviously, timing is important with these matches. Later on, Ricky does end up tweeting that he's okay, everything is good. Everybody was really worried about Ricky. He had not been in the ring since they lost their titles. I don't know, maybe like a month ago. And, people are concerned. People do love Ricky Starks, and we have not seen him in a little bit. And it would have been really unfortunate to see him being on the shelf after being gone for a little bit in his first match back. So he says he's good, so I'm really happy to hear that. But real talk, it did not look pretty at the time. And I definitely kind of feel in my heart that it was supposed to be Big Bill and Ricky to take that win. Now backstage we have Christopher Daniels, who is issuing a fight with Malachi Black of all people. I'm not gonna lie, I really do like Christopher Daniels a lot, but that came out of nowhere. I don't see it being a squash situation. I know Christopher been in the business for a very long time. I do expect to see a really great match. But it was random to see him call out Malachi. So we'll see what happens with that. That's probably going to be on next week Collision. Oh no, it's Rampage. That's when they're going to have that match. I forgot they announced it for Rampage. So we'll see what happens with that. Now we have Thunder Rosa versus Lady Frost. well, what can I say? It wasn't all that. I'll say that much. In my opinion, this is where I go back to what I said earlier about how people are not facing each other, don't have any experience with each other in the ring, and could have experience with each other, so that when they're on TV, they have, great chemistry. And that's unfortunate that they're not able to have house shows and all these other things, so that they can, get some experience with their opponents in the ring. And that's one of those situations. So I didn't really care too much for this match here. It could have been better. Thunder Rosa obviously takes the win. And honestly, they said that she is number 1 in the women's rankings. And I find that to be interesting, because you bitches have not been talking about the rankings for the very longest now. And now we're back to the rankings again. And honestly, I kind of felt like in terms of rankings, I would not have guessed that it's Thunder Rosa who is number 1. I would have thought it would be Willow Nightingale. I could be wrong, because I have not really looked to see what the stats would be. But at this point, y'all made a big deal about bringing the rankings back in the beginning of the year. And then they kind of been abandoning that idea for a while now. And then now they're mentioning again. Nobody cares about it anymore, Tony Khan. Now, after this, we have Toni Storm with Mariah May, Luther, and Renee Paquette. Renee has just announced that there's going to be a number 1 contenders match next week, and it's going to be Thunder Rosa versus Mariah May. And then Toni Storm looks at Mariah May with disgust, and she's like, so this was a plan all along? You wanted to go against me for the title? And Mariah just looked like she has a million excuses to give. But then Toni Storm grabs her face and kisses her in the lips, and she's like, you're brilliant. And I'm just like, what? Obviously, because if Mariah were to win against Thunder Rosa, then Mariah can go against Toni Storm and pretty much lay down in the middle of the ring and let Toni retain her title. So Toni's excited about it, but Luther in the background, he is not convinced. He's making all types of faces. He looks really, really angry about the situation. And if anything, if Luther can throw out Mariah May from this little group, he would do it himself. Now, they're going to have that match on Dynamite, Thunder Rosa versus Mariah May. It would be really interesting to see Mariah win that match. I know they've obviously been gearing for that since the very beginning, but let's see what happens. I'm pretty sure Thunder Rosa is going to get her opportunity to go for the title, maybe at the pay-per-view if Mariah May if Mariah May wins on Wednesday. Now, after this, right before that, here we have Toni Storm, who's like chin up, tits out, and watch for the shoe, while Mariah is like lip syncing that in the background. And I just thought it was absolutely cute. So, they do compliment each other and whatnot. And Toni Storm has been absolutely entertaining in this whole thing. However, Mariah May, she needs to stand out for her own reasons and not for being Toni Storm or being Toni Storm's little bitch or whatever. At some point, things will change, and I'm cool with that. Now, main event, we had trios action. We had Lance Archer and The Righteous versus Bryan Danielson, Claudio Castagnoli, and Shibata. Shibata was getting a lot of love from the Canadian crowd tonight, and they hardly see him. So I'm pretty sure that's the reason why they showed so much love to Shibata. I did enjoy this match, and I thought it was really, really great. We had maybe a 15-minute match with these guys. I'm sick of the picture-in-picture thing, Tony Khan. Like, every second you go for picture-in-picture, which is just absolutely insane to me. Like I said, really great match, very fun. And another thing, too, is that while this was predictable, I think we got a chance to see a really good showing of the heel team here in this match. I always say I don't like the way they book Lance Archer, but he looked really great here. We got a chance to see Lance and Claudio in the ring face to face one more time. Obviously, it's not a one-on-one situation. I would love to see them continue to have another match with each other where we actually have a winner. But everybody was hyped up for it. We did have Claudio that went for the giant swing on Lance Archer. Honestly, I wanted him to do it on Dutch. I thought it would have been great to see Dutch get swing around, but that didn't happen. The chemistry was there for the most part. Sometimes things did get a little bit sloppy, but overall, really great match, very fun. You guys already know. BCC Shibata takes the win, and then the show is over. I don't know. I was just hoping for a little bit something more. I guess the main event kind of got me hyped to see a little bit more, a little something, but the show's over. Would I recommend watching the show? Honestly, I would say real talk that the opening and the main event are the only things really worth sitting through. Everything else you really would be skipping through because it's not really all that. But the show was okay for a Saturday night, especially if you had nothing to do. Next week, WrestleMania, they are going to start Collision at a different time, which is 11:30 p.m. Eastern time. So it's going to be later on. I guess obviously they don't want to come on at the same time as WrestleMania because they know everybody and their mama going to be over there. So they want to come on later on so people can actually sit through and watch the show. I'll be real with you. I don't know if right after WrestleMania I'm going to put on Collision because I know I'm going to be fucking wiped out from sitting through WrestleMania. So I don't know if I'll still do a watch along with that because I will do a watch along with watching WrestleMania, maybe Collision right after that. If not, I'll just do the review the next day. It's a lot of wrestling going on this week alone, so a lot of people are gonna be wiped out. So don't be surprised if I don't do a watch along for that. But it's very interesting. 11:30 p.m. Eastern. It is pretty late, especially after sitting through hours of already watching wrestling. I don't know how well they will be doing with the ratings, so whatever, who cares? But guys, thanks so much for watching my review. I will be back live on Wednesday for Dynamite. I'll see you then.